table, you have 6 paper plates, you have 6 score sheets, and every has a baking 911 kitchen. What you're going to do is on the paper plates, you are going to write your kitchen number on the edge of every paper plate. Okay, your kitchen number. On the score sheet, you are going to write kitchen 1, kitchen 2, kitchen 3, kitchen 4, kitchen 5, kitchen 6. So every score sheet goes for a different kitchen. What you're going to do then is, if you look at number 1, it says score the bread by height, which means you're going to have to go to every kitchen before they cut it, and you're going to have to score it by the height. If you notice, they are by their pans, and you can move how much it rose. It should be higher than the pan. Should have rounded off higher than the pan. You may give a score of a 4 or a 2. Just for ease, I put 5, 3, 1. Okay? Once everybody has been to every kitchen, then you will go and you will score by they will cut it. When you cut bread, you use a cutting board. You don't use the cooling rack. You take a serrated knife. You turn the bread on its side, and you saw back and forth. And you're going to cut at least 6 pieces to start with. Okay, they don't have to be really thick, but don't make them too thin. Do not give a group the end piece. Okay, keep that for your group. All right? The grain should be even. There should be no holes inside or tunnels. You should know this from the worksheet that you did. Okay, if there's big holes, there was a problem, it should all be even. The texture is good, it feels like bread when you eat it, it is soft and moist. This is not Wonder Bread. This is not your store-bought bread. This is homemade. It's going to be a little more dense, which means a little heavier. It's not going to be as chewy as Wonder Bread. Okay, but it should be soft, should be moist, it should not be dry. The color on the inside, you used milk. The color should be white. If there is yellow to it, the egg was not mixed in properly. Okay, the flavor is well mixed. This is a yeast bread. It is not going to taste like store-bought bread with no flavor. It's going to have a little flavor to it. It may have a little different flavor than you're used to. If the flavor is off, and I don't mean super sweet or super salty, but it has a little yeast flavor and you're not sure if that's right or not, ask me to come over. I will try a little piece and I will tell you if that is the proper flavor. If it's too salty or it's too sweet, you're going to be able to tell that. Okay? You will score everybody on these. And then you're going to give them the points. On the bottom, you write comments or suggestions. Comments and suggestions are not, your bread tasted good. Your bread was short. Your bread was ugly. You cooked it too long, it turned too brown. Okay? Comments and suggestions are going to be looking at the baking 911. If there is a problem, you're going to try to figure out, okay, their bread did not rise. It is flat. What might be some common things on here that are a problem? And maybe say to them, maybe you didn't do this or that. It wasn't the oven temp. It was not the rising time. It was not the amount of time baking. All those things were correct. All right? But other things could have been wrong. Strong flavor, strong yeast odor, uneven shape, crust cracked on top, bread collapsed, flat top, wrinkled crust, soggy crust, all those things you could say, and then you could say what you could have done to change it. If the bread is good, you make comments that maybe you say, you did a nice job mixing your bread, I can tell because. And why can you tell things are done right? Okay? your bread tastes good. You must have done this correctly. So you need to analyze the bread and explain why it was done correctly or maybe what went wrong. On the very bottom, you put your kitchen number so that I know who scored them. Because if you don't write comments that are appropriate, like you put little wimpy comments that I told you not to put, I'm taking it off your grade. Once you have everybody's bread, you can cut it and look at it. You will cut it into fourths or fifths. You will all taste it so that you can score on taste. You must all agree on the score for each kitchen's bread. Once you have scored all the breads, you will turn your score sheets into the bin. You will then be allowed to bring up a custard cup and get about 2 tablespoons of butter and a little bit of peanut butter in a custard cup to eat the rest of your bread. And then if you have extra bread, you can take it home with you. You need to be done and cleaned up before the bell rings, including washing your pans, your cooling racks, cleaning the counters, and the knives. All right? Any questions? Okay, hairnets, aprons, gum and candy spit out, hands washed.